So, as you guys can see, we are live and in living color. I am Tools with Souls. That is Tools and Tactics over there. It's been a fantastic week in that all week I have had this eye closed because I got bit by a brown recluse spider in the face. Been a
Dang.
hell of a week. This is the first day since Thursday evening that I've had two functioning eyes.
Well,
It was
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. But the swellings finally started to go down. It started to go down last night. I don't know where everyone is. There's Big Red, Paul W., Budsville. So you and I started talking a little bit ago about a certain tool that a lot of dudes really love. Comment Z, how you doing? And I can't say that I'm in that boat. I like it. I use it when necessary. But I would not say that it is my favorite tool. As a matter of fact, it's probably my least used tool. Hello,
Yeah.
Daniel. Bones.
Yeah,
2K.
definitely.
A minute. So that one is the angle grinder. Now, you and I were talking about this. I've got a couple. I don't even know how. I probably have 5 of them laying around my house.
Yeah.
I only use one of them. And it's because it's just the one I'm familiar with. I know its kind of quirks and I know how it works and operates. I know kind of how to use it when I need to. And it's the angle grinder. Now, I use my rigid. I flex. The flex one is much better. Can
Yeah.
you make me monomer moderator? Hold on. Add as moderator.
How'd you do that?
I just clicked on his name, went to add as moderator. Cody
Is it
Brown.
that easy?
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
that
like you
easy.
just push it on the name and just select it? Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm so old school, man.
A little pop-up window comes up and it just says like a bunch of like I could hide user from the channel, which I do quite a bit with some of these guys. But for me, it's like I normally in this forum, I always set it as moderator. What's the other guy look like? He looks like an 8-legged spider. I got bit in the face by a brown recluse. It was pretty gnarly, actually. I'll put pictures because I kind of left or made a like a timeline because the doctor had asked me to make a timeline because I had taken a photo when it like first noticed it. It
Right.
wasn't that bad. It was just a little bump. And then I think or Friday morning, I woke up and this entire side of my face was swollen up.
I was instantly concerned when you told me you maybe thought you got bit by a spider. I was like, well, doesn't sound that bad. And I was like, I tell you what, show me a picture. And I was like, bro, why are you not, at a clinic right now? Because
yeah,
there becomes a tipping point with that stuff.
Yeah, it left a hole like when it bit me. And you guys, if I post the pictures later on or whatever, you could actually see the hole that it left in my face.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so bad. Like, I don't want to complain about it or anything because it sucked. Like, not being able to see hurt quite a bit. It's just looked like that. Even years later, a little spider bite hers and it flares right up. Well, that's not good, collector. OSHP, what's up? You hear local crimes with your sonar now? What's sonar, man? I guess I'm Spider-Man. No. But so here's the thing. If you're a homeowner, you don't need a fucking angle grinder.
It's just flat out say it. I think
I'm good,
I
big
think you
bag.
might need one. You're just not going to use it near as much as you think.
No, you may use it once or twice a year, and at that point, I honestly just go to Harbor Freight and get one of the corded ones and just use it because it's only going to set you back $20. Like a professional, if you're in maybe the automotive industry, if you're doing like builds and stuff like that, yeah, I could see you using an angle grinder a lot. But
Yeah,
for
but
a
then
homeowner,
like,
go
yeah,
ahead.
professional setting like that makes sense. But at that point, you don't even need a cordless one. You'd want a corded one if you got like a whole station set up. Makes sense. Like, I don't
That's
know,
right, bud.
mobile jobs. If you're
Yeah.
welding something and you're going to different job sites and stuff. But yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I had the Milwaukee one for like 10 plus years, just the brushed, and the Flex replaced it. So you can
Yeah.
imagine what that was like going from that thing to a Flex.
Connor, he has a question. He's like, what do you think about having a second set of tools in your car or truck? Um, should everyone have this? And you and I have talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Whenever I go on a trip, we've actually gone into detail, like the tools that we put into our bag. Whenever I go on a trip, I make sure, hi, Shaka Gillis. I make sure, Alvaro, uh, did you back talk your husband or something? Hey, if any of the moderators are on, that jackass that's there, fuck them, get rid of them.
Oh, I've got the perfect example. So for us, men who work with their hands that get shit done, right? We bring
Yeah,
tools in case we get stranded so we can pay for things.
right.
Unlike this guy just planning on using his mouth on the corner in case he gets stranded. You never know if you
Thanks,
know
Shaka.
the knowledge of a certain trade. That's invaluable in a situation where you're hundreds of miles away from your home. And not only that, but you can also help others. So you might be visiting a
Right.
loved one, or you're going to like for me, I was going to a conference or something, and I was going to be there for a couple of days. So I wanted to bring tools with me to make sure that if they needed something, I could fix it.
So everybody that's wondering what happened, I got bit in the face by a brown recluse spider. Okay. That's just what happens. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it is what it is. But so like, yeah, I always pack a tool bag and it's the last thing that goes into the vehicle. Like it sits next to the vehicle while I'm packing. And then when stuff is in, that's the last thing that goes in. Uh, Dude, don't even tell me Tactics owns a fanny pack. Uh, okay. He owns two. Um,
Two fanny
and
packs.
hi, Nick. How you doing? What's one key in Milwaukee? It's a way for them to charge you an additional price for a tool that has less power.
Cool.
You can
Yeah.
go into the computer and you can set the power ratings and all that, but if you do it, it's going to have less power. Just not worth it. Um,
You can track with them, maintain automatic schedules for recalibration for certain torquing tools, things like that.
yeah.
It's good if you have a fleet and you're trying to, keep track of your stuff, but
Thanks,
useless as the
Backwood.
average person.
Backwoods just became a member. We appreciate that. Thank you, Backwoods,
Nice.
man. That's awesome. Make a DeWalt fanny pack and you'll buy it. Well, shit, that's one of us. Damn.
It's
I'm sure they have one if you look hard enough. No,
pretty
so
awesome.
here's what I pack in my car bag just to have it. So I always take a, a cordless impact wrench,
Right.
sockets. I take both long or deep well and shallow well sockets. What's up, Russ or Ross? Caleb. I also take I take a torque wrench with me. I take a drill and an impact. I have multiple batteries for them. I take my tire inflator. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. There's quite a bit. I take quite a bit with me.
Yeah,
And that,
gloves and tie wraps are so
oh,
underrated.
yeah. And it's always because, like, for me, Harbor Freight fan bots, those are Den of Fools members, by the way. But for me, what I'd like to do is if I'm broken down, I want to be able to help myself. But if I see somebody else that's broken down, I like to be able to pull over and help them out. And that's what we're supposed to do at yes, a jump box, of course. I actually keep a jump
Hmm.
box in my car all the time.
Yep.
And I charge it up every month or two. Just depends. In the summer, I don't charge it as much. In the winter, I make sure that it's charged at least once a month.
If you
But
guys are still buying the big ones with the tire inflator and all that, if you haven't ventured off to the little small, little compact ones,
yeah,
you need to, because the technology is there. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, well, for all of that stuff, I only pack rigid when I go. Like, I don't pack anything else. It's all rigid because I have the most batteries in that platform, and the tools work. Like, I don't care what anybody says, the tools just fucking work. They,
This goes everywhere I go, man. I don't go anywhere without this. Um,
yeah, you ought to see them use it in the bathroom. It really
doing
helps them unclog.
doing inspections, you're driving to where the nails are, so
Perth,
it's
Australia. They take
unusual
that
to
away from it.
not get at least one flat every month.
$20 for nitrile gloves. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's getting crazy
Dewalt
out
does
there.
make a great inflator. I don't deny. I have the most batteries in the rigid platform, and the most chargers and whatnot. And I don't take a full size charger with me. I actually take that crappy little one that comes in a lot of the kits now. That's the one I take because it's the smallest. It goes into the bag the easiest, and I don't have to worry about it. Yo, fuckface, what you doing? The
Yeah.
thing is, my pants is rigid half the time, depending on when the pressure kicks in. OSHP with a wrench. I've never had good luck with jump boxes, air compressors, and it's all on the what you buy. So the jump box that I buy, uh, what is it? It's red. I
Is
can't
it
remember the name of it off
from
the top of my head.
Harbor Freight?
No, no, I buy it from good places. Not that there's anything wrong with Harbor Freight.
I got
You
my red
remember
one from O'Reilly's, and that's some German name.
yeah. I want mine is it's not Craftsman or any of those crappy brands, but mine is it's I got it. I can't remember it. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'll have to look, but I always keep it in there. And here's the one thing, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but when we're talking about harbor fraud, right? It's kind of like in the '90s, right? You remember Seinfeld
Yeah.
when they would talk about dudes being like, and they go, not that there's anything wrong with that. That's exactly how I feel when I say I got like I want to buy something from Harbor Freight. I'd be like, oh, you got that from Harbor Freight? Well, not that there's anything wrong with that. Like it's just
Yeah.
automatic.
Where else are you going to buy those wooden puzzles that you got to use little sandpaper? And
Thank
those things
you.
went up 30 cents. They're $1.39 now.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got the dinosaur, the helicopter, the tank, the flamingo, the seahorse.
Well, since we've got our audience here, I'm buying a laser engraver, like a big one.
Oh, are you?
Right. Yeah. And I didn't know if the audience would be interested in me doing like maybe a couple of signs with it or something like that. Maybe putting it out for sale is like during the live streams or what. I don't know how to work it because I've never done anything like that. But I actually picked up some blanks, like some round blanks, and I was figuring I'd just make some signs out of it. No, not a big deal. And just put it out there for somebody. Like hey, you could buy this, maybe my logo, maybe an insult, like Milwaukee or something like that with the Milwaukee design on it. Just call it Milwaukee. Even Craftsman looks better. Daniel, that's great. Rigid's a great product. What's up, Rodney, down in Biloxi? Have great stack sets. Jump boxes from Amazon. Huh.
But honestly,
$150.
they're all pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Even the cheap ones will jump 5.7 iForce Toyota Tundra like 7 times on a charge without
Damn.
even really having to worry about it.
Well, I think mine, the one, because I have 3. I have a slight problem. When I see a tool,
Mm-hmm.
I buy the tool. All right. And a jump box to me is a tool. So I have 3 of them. 2 of them I got from Walmart, but they're not like hyper tough. And then the one that I end up using the most, I got from Napa, I want to say. And the one from Napa was like really expensive compared to the $80, $90 ones from Walmart. We all have a problem. Is on the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, collector. I saw that. The 3/4 rigid looks great. Cobalt. I missed it. Proto Tools. This is a good show. Oh, dude, Proto is one of the best wrenches out there, dude. I would absolutely do that.
Yeah, Proto is decent. Other the stuff's just kind of a name.
Yeah. For the price, Heart is cheap, cheap. Yeah, Heart works. Like I'm not surprised if anybody buys Heart, dude, it's worth it. I have a cheap Tack Life Amazon jump pack, and it jumps my V8. That's great, bro. David, hope you're well. But dang, I was laughing hysterically when you fell in your store. Yeah, it happens, man. It was pretty funny. I laughed. I ended up separating my shoulder that day, but I laughed about it.
So earlier today, oh man, I just remembered I left my weed eater out. I think it's out. I ran out of line, and I was going to go to Home Depot, but around that time,
Yeah,
neighbor was in the backyard. Alley. We got the backyard. He's got the alley in between us, and I had
right.
never met him. We're building a trampoline in the back, and he walks outside, and I say, "Hey," So he starts kind of walking towards the edge of his driveway. So I go to jump the fence because I didn't build the fence, but there's no gate to it,
Yes.
Well, if you recall, one of the lives I did, we were cutting in like a trash can leave out area or something.
Yeah.
And I guess it structurally weakened one of the posts because I wanted to go jump it, dude. They said, the fence is going with me. I can do that.
That shit only happens to you, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Always something, man.
I don't know where Juan is. He's around here somewhere.
So you're asking about the grinder, man. So I just bought one, right? Because I needed to cut some quartz.
Tell him which one you bought.
So I bought the Craftsman. I was looking at the Flex, and Lowe's is so terrible with everything, right? So I look up and I'm like, Flex, and it says none available in your store. So then I'm looking at the DeWalt, and it's $100 for the brushed. Now, this is what kind of started the debate, right? What do you need as a homeowner? If you come from a construction background, you would know that you don't typically have a grinder unless you are a welder or part of the general contracting crew or a pipe fitter. That's it.
Even the general contractors, man, there's so many other tools that can get the job done that are a lot safer.
Well, just with Sparks, man, you got to have, a hot work permit.
Right.
And then you got to have a fire watch for like 30, 45 minutes.
Funny, isn't it? But
so your grinder's not the tool to use,
Jamie doesn't agree. So anybody wondering, I still got bit in the face by a brown recluse spider. We poke fun at each other. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Hey, buds, I painted the ryobi link system blue though, so
To match
it's
his
that much
ball.
better already.
Have you seen Ryobi's ride-on mower? Mm, that's not Milwaukee's.
Yeah.
He-
OWLexusGrinders.com.
Yep. Shaka Gillis is going to be looking for you on Grinder too. The color is just
So yeah. So anyway, I told the guy because you got the pro rewards or whatever you want to call it with Lowe's, and he's like, "Hey, what are we going to put down for the PO number for this tool?" And I was like, "I would just put grinder." And then I was like, "Wait, hang on, maybe we shouldn't do that." And the dude's like rolling. So I was like, "Actually, you know what? Don't do that. Don't put grinder." So the dude, he literally labels it for me. He puts NO, enter. So that's the name of the PO is no.
yeah. If I fight a Makita user, all I have to do is dodge their purse. That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's newer to the channels. How did Tactics and SoAlz know each other? You know what, Michael? Is an interesting story because I actually found him.
Yeah.
I was watching one of his very first videos, and I was not arrogant, but I was definitely probing him to ask more questions, right?
Right. Yeah, he was trying
So
to help
I
my
think
content. So he was like, your camera is 30 feet away. Why is it not up so close? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about YouTube. So we just reached
but
out and started keeping in touch.
yeah, it was crazy because like the first one that we watched, I was like, "What do you think this video is about?" That was my first question to you. The very first thing I said. And then I think
Right.
we exchanged an email or whatever, and I gave you my phone number and all that. And then we ended up talking. We've been talking ever since.
Yeah,
Thanks,
pretty
bud.
much.
And Black and Decker drill and burn up the very first. Yeah, don't buy Black and Decker. They're crap. They're disposable tools. One time use, get rid of them. So yeah, anybody that didn't see, Milwaukee leaked the photos of their new riding lawnmower. They're also working on Caleb. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll one of these Sundays I'll have you come on, Caleb, and then we'll go through a couple of your videos and talk about it, especially your long format videos. And we'll talk about it, and I'll try to help you out any way I can.
Very
But
cool.
they have to. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting how they're working it because, like, over in Europe, yes, please hit the like button. Over in Europe, AEG, who is rigid here in the US, they make the same tools, though not the same company. But AEG over in Europe, they have all kinds of outdoor power equipment, stuff that we're barely scratching the surface of in the rigid name here in the US. And what I'm hoping is that some of those additional tools make their way over here within the next few years.
Slowly but surely, they've been kind of
I can
getting
assure
it. By
you
the
that
time
it's
we
going to
get
get
them, there's
upward.
like the older tech though. I need to
Yeah,
commit.
I think the Milwaukee, like their zero turn is probably going to be 10, 12, 15 grand. And I want to say, like, I saw images of it, and I think it was a 54-inch cut. And their riding lawnmower is significantly smaller. I want to say it's only 32, 36, somewhere in that neighborhood for a cut. But I can imagine it's going to be in the
Kansas,
neighborhood of about 6 grand. What's up, Kansas?
dang, that's
Ah,
crazy, dude.
yeah, it's well, the push mower is $1,200, and you get it on sale for $1,000. But the push mower is $1,200, and at that, it's not like I don't think there's a push mower in the world that's worth more than $300. At least not to
Like
me.
that, I don't know how they do it, man. But I was using the weed eater today, even the 18 volt, and it's just crazy how much power they've got in that thing. If anyone has a 18 volt Milwaukee weed eater, you know what I'm talking about. That thing does not stop. It does not care. I haven't found anything to bog it down. I'm talking grass and weeds like this tall, just not even any effort at all.
Van Man, you are absolutely right. Caleb Ross is the next big channel. I really love what he does. I think he's got a great thing going, and I wish him nothing but success. And any way I can support it, I will. I absolutely love the guy's content. Seemed like a good dude. I've never spoken to him like individually or anything, but I watch all of his stuff. But I am such a lightning rod. I don't comment on most videos that I watch because dudes would just be like acting like bitches. So I'm like, fuck them.
Yeah,
I just don't comment, but I hit the like, I watch him, and I enjoy what he does. And if there's any way I could give a shout out and have it help somebody, I wish I could. You could stay up for these lives, just stopping in to say hi. Well, thanks, Kevin. Watch your video
I
tomorrow.
appreciate
Good
it.
night. Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate that. Hey guys, Team Rigid here. Mark, you've got great taste. That's what I could say. Look at that. I got a rigid banner back there, but nobody ever talks about the Milwaukee. Like it's sitting right there too. Diligent Dave, what's up, buddy? Lightning rod, nice turn. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, again, you and I have talked about this. The dudes that are in the community, the tool community that are on YouTube, right? They all like if you say anything that they don't like,
They'll
they're
reach
like,
out to you by email and tell you to cease and desist.
yeah, they're like, you can't do that. We're trying to build a fucking
Hey, don't
friendly.
say that about that guy. It's like the dude shouldn't lie.
And the thing is, like, you might not like me, which is cool. Like, fuck it.
Right.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not trying to be, right?
No.
But the dudes on the job site, they talk closer to you and I, the way we speak to one another, than
Right.
what those other channels are saying on their shit. Because they're like,
Yeah.
you've got to be like verbally blowing a dude in the comments section. Well, if the guy's a fucking idiot, let me call him a fucking idiot because that's what I would do on the job.
That makes sense.
Shorts on YouTube. Driving a four-wheeler. Yeah, way to go,
I was
big.
just thinking about the other day, man, how much effort do we actually put into this? Like, don't get me wrong, we put a lot of hours into this, right? But I don't link any videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't chain any other videos to any of the videos. I don't do descriptions. I don't have playlists. I barely have good enough thumbnails, okay?
That's all true.
And the effort that I would need to put into this, I don't have the attention span to do it, you know, and especially with the last year that I had 2 years. I mean, I couldn't even stay awake long enough to edit a video. I was falling asleep 4 or 5 times trying to edit one 15-minute video a year ago.
Yeah.
I was falling asleep talking to you. Remember?
Yeah.
We'd be on the phone.
Man. Yeah. Oh, no, I remember. When we were like, so my health has prevented me from doing a lot of long format content over the last year because, like, I'm dying. There's just no nice way of saying it. I'm not long for this world. As a matter of fact, this is the last year I'm going to be traveling at all because I'm just not healthy. So what's with that being said, like I know, and I've always said this 2 weeks after my death, and I stop making content or whatever, ain't nobody gonna give a shit. They're just
Maybe.
gonna go on to the next guy and they'll be like, fuck them. Right. So while I'm here, if I can teach people just some of the stuff that I know, It like the way I respond, like, do you know how many times I had to explain in a day how a screw works?
Right.
Shit that professionals we don't even think about because it just makes sense. Oh, it pulls itself through the wood. All right.
Right. let me push on that screw harder because obviously that's gonna make it go faster.
You could buy a fuel
Because you
Walmart.
didn't push hard enough on the screw, SoAlz. Come on.
Yeah. It's pretty pathetic that it comes
You
to
got to
that
twist your
point.
hammer when you're banging that nail, bro.
Yeah, like the level of stupid. Like I'll tell you this. Like I always make jokes about it when I'm using like Smash Souls. Thanks, B Dub. When I'm using like a hammer on screen or whatever, it's to the point where I have to go like, this ain't a demonstration on how to do it. I'm literally just using it to show that there's no pilot. Like because you get and oh Lord help you if a screw wobbles. I just found this out. If a screw wobbles when you don't have it sunk into the wood, like it's just sitting there as though it's barely in, that
Mm-hmm.
means you did a pilot hole that they all call a pre-drilled hole. And
No.
pre-drilled hole really pisses me off because it tells me you've never been on a job site a day in your life.
Yeah.
If you say pre-drilled on a job site, everybody's gonna look at you and laugh. You're like, what the fuck? It's a pilot hole, dummy.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a grill, Michael? Great. You need an apprentice to carry your teaching so you can live forever. That's what these videos are. You guys can look back on them when I'm dead and gone and be like, hey, that asshole was actually pretty cool. And then forget about me. What's up, LF? But no, it's great because like I watch and I'm just gonna call out a few of them. Like one of them that's reached out to me personally and told me that the way I talk to people isn't appropriate. And it ended up blocking me on Facebook because it's not appropriate. And I'm just like, fuck you. I don't give a shit. I'm not sleeping with anybody here, but the only person I sleep with is my wife. I'll never forget this channel. And Joshua Wilson, thank you, Kevin. Joshua Wilson, great member of the community, by the way. Thank you. It actually is a skull. It just, I'm not standing so you can't see it.
See, I didn't even know what was going on with that because I've just got severe attention to just severe attention to paying attention to anything, right? So Josh was, texting me, hey, what tools does an HVAC tech need?
Right.
So I'm thinking Josh was going to be doing some HVAC job or switching roles in his company or something, like typing out all this expensive crap. And then I found out it was for Kevin there. It's pretty cool. Good guy, Joshua.
Sorry, Budsville. I'll buy more Temu tools just for you, or Temu, however you say it. I'll buy more just for you, sir. As a matter, you know what? They were supposed to pay me $300 for that one video, and I was just like, no, thanks.
Dang.
They were like, well, do another YNW Melly. They were like, why don't you make a 10-minute video of the tools you liked? And I'm like, well, none of them survived. So how the hell am I going to make a 10-minute video of broken tools? I could be like, hey, we broke this one. Hey, we broke this one. Look what happened to this in chunks now.
But be like, hey, I tell you what, send me one of those wood polishers. They'd be like, wood polishers? That was a Dremel.
Mark, I have never heard of Total Tools, so I don't know.
Total Tools? No.
I like to see more OPE on this channel. They're my favorite. Van Man, in every spring and summer, I normally do a few videos showing OPE. Last year, I want to say I did maybe 10, 15 videos of just OPE. Harbor Freight is the team with the sales hardware store. That's great.
I'll tell you what's a good value, man, especially for a homeowner, is the Craftsman stuff, the OPE, the chainsaws, the pole saws. That stuff's really surprised me. I had that little 8-inch chainsaw.
Yeah.
Today I was putting in the trampoline, so you got that net enclosure that goes up higher, and I had to cut down a couple of limbs that were like, I don't know, 3 inches.
Yeah.
It just works, man. There's no bogging down. There's nothing to compare it to because it doesn't bog down. It's not like I need a stronger tool. It's like it just works. I mean, I cut down half of a whole tree with like 6-inch, diameter, and 8-inch with the pole saw on an adapter of a 12 of a dewalt 20-volt battery.
Right. So I'm just reading the comments, and a lot of guys are talking about OPE. That's outdoor power equipment. For anybody that's not in the tool community that doesn't know what OPE is, you're reading the chat. That's what OPE means, outdoor power equipment. Anyway, I just saw Jake Shev talk about Walmart doing a big clearance on 40-volt Hart stuff. Now, in my area, no, not at least not in the stores. And I never look at Walmart online because, like, it's fucking Walmart. That's shit for my wife, right? But I do have their 40-volt string trimmer. Thanks, comment C. I do have their 40-volt string trimmer, and I have used it to cut down saplings because I put the saw blade on it. And
oh yeah,
it works great. Like, I don't have any problem. Opinion on steel battery units. Oh, Hayden. Dude, hold on.
what are you gonna do?
Hey, the people.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do. Yeah, someone's asking about electric chainsaws if they're any good. Yeah, they are very decent nowadays. If you live in the city, you don't need a gas anything anymore, pretty much.
No, as a matter of fact, if I were healthier, right, I would absolutely, what's up with your face? I got bit by a brown recluse spider. Anyway, if I were healthier, I would do a long format video on me trying to get rid of gas altogether, right? And as far as like the outdoor power equipment, because some of these 40-volt tools, I just watched a girl, she used the brand new steel chainsaw, their biggest one, like the 330 or whatever it's called. And it actually cut faster than the biggest steel gas powered chainsaw. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. I watched it. And again, I don't comment on the videos because enough people get enough shit from me. I don't want to go to other channels and give people shit on theirs. But I will occasionally. But I think they're awesome. And I have this, the little pruner, the 12-volt pruner. I ran over this with a 61-inch, 800-pound zero-turn mower with my fat ass sitting on it. And here it is.
Nice.
It works like brand new. It is. Thank you, Rod. It is amazing. Oh, did Joshua step in? Welcome, Joshua. What do you think of the DeWalt cordless 20-volt chainsaw with the 12-inch blade?
It's great.
I would agree.
It's going to be just like the Craftsman, but better, pretty much, because it's the same crap.
I think they've got an 18-volt or 18-inch flex volt that's even better.
Right.
Solar inverter and free AC. Scott M. It's got the metal prawls on it. It's absolutely fantastic. Battery's a bit pricey for that, but still, if you're in that DeWalt line, it's their best chainsaw. I personally have the 16-inch Milwaukee. I was cutting oak with it last year. I did a few videos showing me cutting oak with a battery chainsaw, and it absolutely was fantastic. Like, I loved it. Who makes the best tea? Lipton. I don't know. Eco.
The best tea.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with Eco at Home Depot, or Echo. Sorry, not Eco, Echo at Home Depot. But I went in there the other day, and it's like that much space to echo. It's not even a bay. It's maybe half a bay. What do you think about Makita XGT 40 volt? If you want a tool that matches your purse, panties, and fingernails, it's great. But it's
I think
overpriced, underpowered, underperforming garbage.
usually your first reaction is going to be the most genuine. You know, even you can convince yourself once you buy it with buyer's remorse, whether or not you like it. But I would say your first reaction is generally going to be the last reaction you're going to have of it. And my first reaction when I saw that was, why the hell do we need 40 volts on a battery this big on the most ergonomic tools? Why? And it's not even as powerful as Milwaukee. How do you double the voltage and not have more power?
Yeah. So the best cordless chainsaw is steel. No doubt in my mind, it is steel. Battery operated. I mean, the thing is incredible. I've seen it. I wish I had a reason to buy it because I sure do love it. I've seen it's the best that I've seen. Sorry, I had to answer that. What we're talking about, I kind of lost track of my thought there. After that,
we were talking about cordless chainsaws.
Yeah.
Steel.
Oh,
Echo.
Diligent Dave. My opinion of Hercules versus Cobalt, I would take Hercules. Hercules is and it's hard to say this because it's from Harbor Freight, but it's better built. Why am I on fire? Because I'm hot. Now, Caleb Ross, hey Dave, personally, I'm putting Hercules and Cobalt right next to each other. I actually think the Hercules is just a step above because the what do they call it? The LXT line or whatever. From Cobalt. The best I've ever gotten it to was about 32, 34 foot-pounds, right? It's never been fast. It's not powerful. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, what happened to brown recluse spider? Anyway,
you see a sign.
Yeah. I've got a hat. I meant to wear it, but I got home so late that I didn't have a chance. I've actually got a hat that has shit that I can say across it. You'll see it in future videos. One of them is going to be "Don't be a bitch," written like it just scrolls across my head.
Nice.
So, but it's programmable. Like I can get it to say whatever I want, like "fuck your mother" if I wanted to say "fuck your mother," or whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know if Hercules was designed by a Milwaukee engineer. The Bauer has like a 90-day warranty. I think it's 3 years now. It might be not. I don't know. I don't play with Bauer too awful much. They actually get the translucent whiteboard out, SoAlz. All right. Anyway, this channel started because I was watching the Den of Fools. Drew, brown recluse spider bit me in the face while I was sleeping. Anyway, I was watching the Den of Fools, and that what's the nice word for idiot?
Every cuss word known to man just came up in my head. A nice word for idiot would be
Jeff. So that Jeff over there, he actually said that Bauer and Rigid were on the same level. And like I look at, thank you, Drew. I look the skill table saw any good? Yes, Michael. It's a good entry level table saw. Anyway, I have both Rigid and Bauer. I look at Bauer as an introductory line, just like hey, I can get started with a tool, right?
Imbecile.
I know that Harbor Freight, they have their like Warrior line or whatever. Yes, Big Red. Anyway, they have their Warrior line, but that's a disposable line, like intellectually challenged. Thanks, Caleb. Anyways, they're helping me out. But it's a disposable line. For me, an introductory line is a tool that a homeowner can use around their house for the little bit of work that they're doing. To me, the Warrior line, like the entire Warrior line, is a one use, throw it away. It's not repeated use like what a homeowner would use. So I look at
Yeah, it's not,
power
right.
there. And then I look at the Hercules line as their attempt at professional. Now, I think it's a step below a true professional tool. I don't trust the build quality, and I've opened them up. I've looked inside, right? And the wiring, the way the mold is put together and all that. It doesn't have some of the ribbing that the other truly professional grade tools do, so it's not going to be as rigid, which means and the grease in it was kind of lackluster, subpar. So I looked at it and I'm like, it's a step below, right? But a step
Right.
below ain't bad anymore. It's not like it's huge. You know,
Yeah, just
you're
about
talking about
anything can do what the best tools from 10 years ago could do
exactly,
now.
Paul. Yeah, it's great. It like, as a matter of fact, I found in it, we don't talk about Metabo a lot, but Metabo's a professional grade tool. Like you open up a Metabo, you know it's great, right? It's going to be durable. It's IP56 rated, all that. I actually
What's up,
bought
Panther?
Panther, my man. What's up, my buddy? Why isn't anyone talking about Hilti? Because we actually buy our tools. We don't rent our tools. Anyway,
The only Hiltis I've ever bought is the powder actuated ones. And
yes,
now you don't even need that stuff.
no. So anyway, I got the old Hitachi. I got a Hitachi. I think it's an impact driver. DJ Reed, what's up? We like to own
I think
things.
what Impact Nation's rocking the Hilti right now, and good for him, man. He beats his tools up a lot. He does a lot of work with
another great dude, by the way. Brandon's a great guy over there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. Didn't mean to pick on you, but I don't think Metabo's inconsistent. You know, the one that frustrates me the most is actually the brand that I had the second most tools in. But for me, it's been so inconsistent, especially on their drills, and it kind of bothers me. You know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with it.
So DeWalt frustrates the hell out of me because I love their tools. What happened to your face? Brown recluse spider. Anyway, I should just get a banner that scrolls.
I said that. He's going to sign, yeah.
Anyway, but I love DeWalt tools. But like using the 800, like I did a video last month and I'm like, maybe I just was wrong about this, right? So I did the video, and the first time I had probably used it in 7 months. And I was like, oh, this is impressive. So I did the video, and then I go to make another one because I was going to have it compete against something more in line. I think I had it compete against
right. When something new comes out, you got to run them all.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
So I was like, well, let me run it against it. And then the next time, the same exact test, I had to shoot 6 times. And each time it sank it to a different level. Like, and at one point I was like, if you go back to the Ryobi video, how I originally planned to end that was having the DeWalt, thank you, having the DeWalt finish the Ryobi Timberlock. And if you go back and watch, you'll actually see, like for a brief second, that it left about 4 inches of the same Timberlock in the same wood in the same area up, and it made no fucking sense to me. And then I take it out, I drive it, and it goes straight down. And then I'm like, okay, Let's try it again. And the next time it hit and done. I was, can you shout out on my channel? Go check out Big Red Farmer. He's a good dude.
And OSHB, yeah, he's a huge fan of Rigid.
Where does Flex sit within Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Rigid? It's an
Right below
interesting.
Milwaukee, probably.
It's an interesting question because there's multiple ways you can go at it. As far as
Right.
tool line, it doesn't compete with any of them. They don't have an expansive tool line. Here's my concern with Flex and why I'm not willing to put them up there with even Rigid. First of all, let me just say, their tools perform like no one's business. They're great. 100% fantastic. But I don't know that they have a future.
Which is unfortunate, man, because I can think of 3 Flex tools that are 4 or 5 probably that are better than anything else on the market right now. No one can compete with it. The sander, the flashlight, the vacuum, the grinder. You can compete with the grinder. There's other Milwaukee and DeWalt can compete with the grinder.
You literally have to go. I don't hate on ryobi so much. I just don't find value in them. Anyway, but you have to go to a 60-volt DeWalt, like a true flex volt tool.
Right.
To compete with a 24-volt flex. And that's just
right.
the way of it. But my concern being that Lowe's has already told them that they're not going to carry the full size line unless it's online only. And they're not, they're only going to focus on the compact tools, which to me is scary because I look at Flex and I'm like, the
24-volt system and they're going to compact.
Yeah. They're not really competing at that point. Like you're just saying, we want for them, their introductory line, the lowest power level. And I'm like, this is supposed to be your brand that competes with DeWalt in Milwaukee at Home Depot. And now you're cutting off their legs. So for me, I can't put them up there in the top. Like, I love them. I truly do. But I can't tell anybody to go out and buy them.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of get that way. There's still a bunch of tools that still make sense to own.
Yeah. Are they? And they are old at this point, still catching up to the others of the first line. Yeah, it's kind of, well, they're 3 years old, like on market for just 3 years. So they're 2 years away from really bringing out another full size line. I don't know if they're going to make it 2 years. Like their sales are lackluster. Just to be blunt, you can't. When I buy a flex tool at Lowe's, dudes are asking me like, why? Why am I buying flex? And I'm like, well, because they're great tools. If you ever use them, they're incredible. And they've got rid of all their store reps, so you don't have a flex store rep anymore. It's just like a brand that's got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I hope they
on Amazon now.
Maybe just Shervon doesn't compete with TTI on promos. Milwaukee kills it with promos and gets.
That's true. You think about it. How many promos do you see for a Cobalt or anything? Actually, now I think about it.
Yeah,
you don't see anything.
The nailers are already in the store. A cordless power tool with an uncertain future is no good in the long term. I agree with you. I didn't see if anybody answered my question, but the DCD 996 by DeWalt, pretty consistent. Yes, it is very consistent, though. It does compete with the 999, the 998. It's just a little bit below those. I had the exact experience when I bought the rear handle. The cashier asked me why I would buy that over DeWalt. Is on the
the rear handle is freaking awesome.
was 48 volts there, Budsville. No one has stock when we need to purchase, chasing us away to the other brands. Yeah, it's so I've been trying to buy the compact drill and impact driver kit. The only thing they have in store is the impact driver. I refuse to buy an impact driver by itself. Like, mm, I want a drill. Like that's what I prefer to use anyway. And a lot of these dudes are like the impact driver for everything, but just because they're morons. Killing combo packs and sale. Oh yeah, collector, you're absolutely right. I love my 3M hearing protection when they have AM, FM, and Bluetooth. That's great, Big Red. I like
Nice.
I don't listen to music, so AM, FM doesn't bother me. I actually just put earplugs in when I'm out there mowing the lawn. It's great. Oh, we knew what you meant, Big Red. Uh, so yeah, Flex bothered me. Here's the other brand that, like, everybody knows I hate Makita. Like, live to hate them. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at what they've done over the last 5 years, right?
Not very much.
Yeah, I'm a moron. What you do is Makitas aren't that bad. So here's their answer to everything: throw a bigger battery on it. Right? That's been their big innovation over the last several years. Throw a big battery on it.
I don't
Have
know,
a
dude.
microwave.
That XCD16 will always have a place in my heart, unfortunately.
It'll always
nice
have
drill.
a place in my trash.
It's a nice impact, dude. You got the clear plastic overmold here. This portion gets hot when you're working outside and
Yeah.
you're building a deck or whatever you're doing. This portion gets hot no matter what brand it is.
Yeah.
There is something about the Makitas that's got some credibility, but it's the same technology. It's the same battery from 10 years ago. It's the same everything. And they're still making 18 volt tools when they have a 40 volt platform. If that should tell you anything.
Yeah. I'm trying to answer the question in my head. Somebody's going to make a pentagon and they wanted to know what angle to put in there. So
A
if you just
Pentagon
did,
box,
yeah,
5-sided.
yeah.
What angle?
Well, you got to think 360. You got to divide that by 5.
5 would be
So you get 50.
5 times 7 is 35. 73.
73 is not a cheap. I want to say it's 52, but maybe 62. 62.
Sorry, not yeah, 5 sides.
Brady, I'm with you. I hope Flex does well. I love the brand. I think they're great. Fazil, I've said it about 389 times. I got bit in the face by a brown recluse spider on Tuesday. And this is the first day that I have had both eyes since Tuesday. I actually I didn't even want to come on tonight because of it. Divide by 5 and divide by 2. Thank you, Kansas. You're right. So 31. Oh, that's great, Rod. 31 degrees. Thank you. Almost lost an arm to one. Howie, dude. Look, mine is clearing up nicely. I have been bitten by brown recluse. I get bit by them every year.
72.
This is the first time I have ever had a reaction. Well, you divide it by 2.
And then you can divide it by 2.
36 degrees.
36, yeah.
Thanks. This is the first time I've ever had a reaction to a spider bite, and I think it's just because it bit me in the face. I normally get bitten on the legs or on the arms, and the skin's a little thicker on my legs and on my arms. So I was
see, you don't even know if you're asleep or not because your health and not being able to feel your face and all that. He was probably cleaning his garage.
Maybe. I have no idea what happened. So I have neuropathy in my well across my whole body because my spinal column is degenerating. And because of the degeneration, I got hit by a car several years ago as I was walking.
That'll teach you.
Yeah, I know. As I have gotten older, that degeneration has compressed my vertebrae and it has begun so that I cannot feel my extremities, which is why if I live long enough, I'll eventually be in a wheelchair. We're hoping that I don't live long enough, though. But
Which is
anyway,
exactly what you're sitting in right now, probably.
no, I'm actually sitting on a stool. The wheelchair's over there.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
Thank you. Normally during this I am, but it's over there tucked in my little alcove. It's beautiful here, Big Red.
Evo
Thanks, George.
says, I'm a local truck driver delivering building materials. I only have seen Flex tools one time on the job since they released.
The only people I have ever seen use Flex are the dudes that Flex that have a channel that Flex sent shit to. Oh, and Brandon, like as far as professionals out there, I've only seen Brandon and dudes that Flex has sent tools to. That's just the truth of it. I know with certainty I don't have to rush to the store if I see a Flex on clearance. Which tool brand has the widest range of tools for an electrician? DeWalt, I would say, like off the top of my head. Well, it's hard because
Widest
Milwaukee has
range.
all the hand tools now. Darren, it's
That's a
just
tough
around
one,
a good
man.
spot. Yeah, you know what?
It's
Power
probably
tools.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
But
love the
what
DeWalt
makes the most sense for an electrician? Think
Mhm.
about it. Everything you're running already has threads,
Yeah,
or it's a small self tapper.
yeah.
So
It's
for
definitely
me, with as long as the DeWalt has the smaller batteries and the smaller tool, I mean, this thing busts 400 foot.
nice,
But
Paul.
the power stacks are not that much bigger than this 12-volt battery. So
Colin,
you don't need that much torque.
Hilton built. I'm just going to call you Colin. I'm not even going to try that. Out of all tools, which type of tool would you pick up and for what reason? I think everybody knows my answer. The
Yeah, here's
first
your
tool I
drill.
grab. Yeah, the first tool I grab is always a drill. I have never been to a job site where the drill didn't come in handy, ever. And I'm not an auto tech, so you guys that are in the automotive field, I never use the drill. I don't give a fuck. All right. Shut the fuck up. Right. I get it. You don't use a drill. And you're
Yeah,
probably doing shit wrong all the time. Anyway, what
there you
happens when
go.
you break a bolt? What are you using? You better have a drill handy. Anyway. I got 41 subscribers. What way to go, Big Red?
Nice.
Congratulations. I heard Scotty Kilmer. I don't know who Scotty Kilmer is.
That's the guy that yells at the TV.
The angry dude?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Do y'all notice that tool brands don't advertise having additional terminals? Yeah. Well, that's not true. Ryobi did. Rigid has. Uh, yeah, both of those have that I know of off the top of my head.
George, for electrical, you're
Did a
going to have an
Makita.
everyday carry, right? Because you're going to be just zipping boxes to metal studs all day. So eventually, it doesn't matter whether you're a pro or whether you've been doing it for 30 years. Once you see these kids coming in, they got these smaller impacts that are way lighter than their 18 volt. Everybody eventually, the whole job site's running 12 volts. You're just in
Yep.
Milwaukee. When it first started, it was those 10.8 volt Makitas, little white ones. Dude, those are fantastic.
Nice.
I don't know why they stopped. I guess they don't like money.
I don't know. Car guy and loudmouth. Yeah, yeah. Now that you guys talk about him, I don't watch his stuff. The impact is easier on the wrist. There's some truth to that. I don't know how much. I've never had a problem with my wrist after using a drill. Uh, I, I I don't know where that came from, but no, I've never had a problem with it. Thanks, Dave. He just subscribed to Big Red. Big Red's up to
Nice.
43. Anybody in the audience that please go support him. Go support Caleb Ross. Make sure that you're supporting Impact Nation Tools and Renegades Garage. All great guys. Morning.
Hey,
I can't pronounce your name.
we got a company owner here. I'm 13. I have my own scrap company and use a drill, but I wish I had a SoAlz on a 3/4 impact. What state are you in?
Yeah, I'm a giant. Oh, I am live streaming the whole time. Well, thanks, Big Red.
That was
Why don't
dude.
they
You
use
want to
pouch
Colin?
cells and drill batteries rather than they do have lipo, just not in the 12
You're in
volt.
Texas, dude. Are you
How
in
many
North
watts?
Texas?
43. Pouch cells provide less voltage drop, and actually, I think they provide more initial
Get
voltage,
him.
like a higher, consistently higher voltage than cylinder cell batteries. And I've been telling people all along, LiPo batteries, that is lithium pouch cell batteries.
South
Jake,
Texas.
lithium pouch cell batteries are the only batteries that we should be looking to buy. They
Yeah.
are just better. They charge faster. They provide more power, less voltage drop. You can get more done. It's cold as heck, Colin.
He's
You
in
think
South Texas.
You think Bosch would be wildly popular in years to come? No.
No.
The ship on Bosch sailed about, what, 9 years, 10 years ago? Here in the States, anyway. Now, in
When
Europe,
they
they use
first came
Bosch.
out with their 12-volt line, was the best
Yeah.
potential they had to really do something.
What's up, Steve?
They kind of drug their feet on really anything with that core. Was it something core? The red batteries. Power core.
Yeah, power core.
Yeah. Even Ave showed it on his channel, AVE.
Yeah.
And man, they still didn't get any boost. So dead in the water.
What's up, Russell? No, it's
If he says something about them, how good they were, and they're not doing that good, then that's the end of that.
Yeah, I look at, well, and it's who they. So here's the pattern, right? If you're at Lowe's, all they'll want to talk to you about are Craftsman and dewalt. If you're talking about power tools, that is exactly what they're going to push you to.
Paul W says pouch cells the only batteries we buying. Please elaborate. I have cell batteries 10 years old, still going. I mean, I don't have any cell batteries 10 years. Of course, I got rid of all my tools and I had to rebuy everything. But
yeah,
they last about a good solid 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
And the fourth year, they're really dropping off.
I would say that. And Craftsman or junk, I really like. Thanks, Vanman. How come I don't see my otter? I don't know.
It doesn't look like you're a member anymore.
Yeah, your free membership may ever run out. So I'm tired of hitting my pipe wrench handle with a hammer. And all right, Colin. I prefer Milwaukee High Life over Cellbat. I don't. And here's why. Like I've used they've got a 4 amp hour battery. I don't know if they've officially announced it yet. I know they had images of it at whatever, the World of Concrete, but they're going to have a 4 amp hour lithium pouch cell battery coming out. It's in that Forge line. And here's what I will say. 21700 cells are great. They really do help the tool perform. But even a 21700 cell battery cannot compete with LiPo. It's close, but the LiPo battery is going to maintain maximum power for longer than a cylinder cell battery. Which means over the course of the day, you're going to be able to get more done. We've
Yeah.
been in a red flag warning. I don't know what that means. Home improvement. Anyone ever heard of ryobi batteries randomly exploding? Yes. People leave them on the charger for like a week. I've heard that.
That's hilarious. This guy says, "Have you seen the comment's hidden, but it says, have you seen the video of the guy using the backhoe to turn a pair of Knipex Cobras?" It flagged that when he said backhoe.
I have. It's amazing. I mean,
yeah.
Knipex do make some amazing tools.
Yeah.
Milwaukee I've seen before. Yeah. The 24 volt is old. The 24 volt Milwaukee. They even have a 28 volt from a while
the 28 came out just kind of close to after the M18.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Milwaukee for a long time seemed lost, but right now, dude, they are killing it.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, they're. I don't care what I know. I get shit for this, but they are killing the trades. They are absolutely dominating every trade that you go into. Look at if you guys. I know we have a plumber. I saw somebody said they were a plumber, and the first tool that they use was a hacksaw when they're on site. But if you go into the plumbing section of Home Depot, a section that was once dominated by rigid, and you look now is a whole huge section for Milwaukee and like a little bit of space for rigid, and it's mainly rigid pipe wrenches, maybe a sewer snake, but not a whole lot in that rigid line. And even at that, Milwaukee barely beat rigid in sales in the plumbing section. So pros aren't necessarily buying the Milwaukee because they want to. I think it's availability.
Yeah, that's half the battle too.
Oh, okay, Big Red. I'd pick a Milwaukee Impact over DeWalt. So would I.
Member question. George says, does any pro line offer a AC converter for their battery tools? Yeah.
Yes. All of them right now.
Yeah, just about all of them. As far as like 1800 watts and plus, even Ryobi's doing that now. You got Ryobi, you got DeWalt, you got all the big ones.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee even announced they've got what, like a 4,000 watt generator, something ridiculous. I don't remember the specs on it, but they've got a 4,000 watt generator that they're coming out with. I want to say
this is what I can say about Milwaukee. They've got people watching what's next, right? Because they said, and this would cause damage. They know it caused damage. They said we're never going to put 2 batteries to equal 36 volts on any of our tools, right?
Yeah.
And then what they do 3 or 4 years later, they came out and they're like, oh, we got 36 volt tools now. You just got to put 2 batteries on it. Well, if it works, it works, you know. Obviously, they know that's going to cause damage by saying that and going back on what they said, but they're still providing what everybody wants.
It's true. I mean, look at what they did at World of Concrete. They just came out with what is it that I don't remember what the name of the line is, but they just came out with a concrete cutter saw, and they had it next to gas, and it dog walked the gas.
Yeah, but how expensive is it, man? Like, I get that, but you still need a vacuum. So you got to suck the slurry, right? That sounds terrible. Yeah. When you're core cutting,
slurry for all of us.
Yeah, but when you're coring, you know, you've got that slurry. So and you've got to have the ring that goes around the core drill on the vacuum attachment. You got to have, for the most part, whatever tool you have. It doesn't matter whether it's corded or cordless. You have to bolt that to the floor.
Right.
You drill 1/2 inch hole.
Yep.
No, you drill 5/8 hole.
Well,
You're dropping a
if you're doing
half-inch
M12,
dropping anchor. And you, no, I said that wrong. You drill a half-inch hole, 3/8 dropping anchor. Yeah, anyway, you bolt it to the floor. So you're already bolting something to the floor. You're going to be living there for a little bit. Stop making cordless tools that are you got to be there for. Like, it's just dumb. I don't agree with it.
I don't know.
They're just getting you on batteries, dude.
Yeah, I looked at their new coring tool, and they had it do a 6-inch core through concrete and like nothing flat. It was
Right.
amazing. And that tool is set up to be like literally dude's just standing next to it, and it's just like a drill press. That's all it really is. I hate to tell everybody, but that's all it really is.
You got to
It's
bolt
just
it
a
to the
drill
floor.
press.
You
Yeah.
bolt it to the floor.
And all you do is just stand there and just turn the handle, and it goes in. But it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I see my rep every once in a while, but he's not very good.
And Hilti dominates that market too, man. They've got
Yeah.
the pressurized pumps that slow
Yeah.
trickle out the water and all that stuff, man. I just think it's a crazy world that we're going into battery on tools that don't need to be battery.
Right. I'm with you, Van, man. I think Rigid, I love the Rigid brand. And as a homeowner, I don't dislike ryobi. I just don't find the value in it. Right. It doesn't have the power, it doesn't have the speed, it certainly doesn't have the performance that I want as a homeowner. I'm retired, by the way. So Rigid is kind of perfect for me. I don't need a pro grade, like pro ready tool. I'm not going back out in the field. Even if I did, I could take Rigid and be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't look at Rigid as a professional grade tool. I look at Rigid as the perfect level for a homeowner.
That's a good balance.
Yeah, it's just ridiculously strong. There's no value in it. Straight up garbage. I'm with you, Shotgun. It's just a step. Like it's the perfect one for me. Now, is that perfect for you? How the hell would I know, dude?
Yeah.
For me, I can only speak for me, an audience of one. I just don't know. I like the M12, but M12 doesn't have quite enough power for everything that I do around the house. Although great line and very, very well built. They just
what's
don't
up, one? So, somebody asked about Diablo spade bits. Yeah, Diablo spade bits are great.
If you're doing demo work though, get the Bosch. Get the Bosch. They have their nail strike, and even though little known secret, that's not so little known, but Diablo is owned by Bosch. So anybody that's out there buying Diablo and telling everyone it's great, and then they dog walk fucking Bosch, I just look at him and laugh. I'm like, you don't even know, man. Like, damn. The M12 for me just didn't have enough power, so
Bosch saw that their line is somewhat failing and went with Diablo bits instead.
Yep.
But if you recall, Bosch was one of the first with the titanium coated bits back in the day, and they had that. Did you ever see the one with it was like the magazine of bits, and they're gold tipped? Did you ever see that? Had a spring and everything, and you could pop them out just like that, the real thing.
Yep. It's amazing.
Love that thing, man.
Right? Yeah. I loved it too. Well, they came up with X-Lock technology. They developed the anti-kickback for drills. Like you look at the history of Bosch, they're the most innovative as far as safety and speed. They're the most innovative tool brand out there.
Were they first to do the X Glide on a miter saw?
Yeah. They're also the first one. So If you go back, they were the first ones to have offset arms on their miters. They were the first ones to use articulating arms on their miters. So, like everything is great that they have done, but no one buys it here in the States.
Yeah, in Europe. Yeah, Bosch is huge in Europe.
Yeah. Bosch, I'll take the Bosch hammer drill. They're
Bulldogs.
1330 or 1300.
Bulldogs. Yeah.
The Bulldogs, yeah, but I'm talking about their hammer drill. It's the like the most comfortable powerful drill that you can use.
They've got a right angle SDS drill. Have you ever seen it?
I have not.
Bosch has a right angle SDS drill. It literally has a right angle built into the SDS quick insert. Call it whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I haven't seen anyone else with that. Just saying.
Juan already knows what happened to my face. I'll post the pictures for you guys maybe on my community post in the next day or two to show you the progression. I've heard Makita makes better tools in Japan than USA. It is true. If you can't rebuild it, I don't want it. Who's your router go-to router brand? Shoo. dewalt, as far as like trim router, I would say they make arguably the best, although the new Milwaukee is very good. For plunge router, if you're going cordless, I would say the new Milwaukee. I've seen it outperform even corded tools. For a router, prefer corded tools. I'm just straight up honest with you. There are certain tools that I prefer to have a cord with me because I know if I'm doing it, I'm going to be doing it for a while. And let me think here. Fast tool, you can't argue with because they're very smooth. But as far as like brands that people are actually going to buy, I got the one from Harbor Freight and I've used it for like 8 years. It's been great.
You probably couldn't buy the same thing, get the same quality though.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's brushed, it's ugly, it's orange.
Yeah.
But it's not like a good color orange. It's an ugly ass orange.
I remember.
It's just nasty looking. But I've used it and used it and used it. I used it on the job site to go through a roof once, just because it's the only thing I had. And it just tore it up like no one's business. And it was great. It's been great for me. Now, that's not saying that it would be great for you. I would trust. I got a Metabo trim router that's just amazing. My Rigid is amazing, but I think DeWalt for the trim and Milwaukee for the plunge. They are ugly. Thanks, buddy. A lot of shade being thrown tonight. Wearing his Milwaukee. I'm not throwing any shade. I'm just telling the truth. It's really about the bit. Oh, I can tell you, bits, man. There are two brands for me: Bosch and CMT.
So, as an opinion on handheld tools, I've never really messed with them. I always use those like Parkside, cheap.
Yeah, I've never used an Einhell or a Parkside. We live in America. Milwaukee hats are nice. Yeah. Milwaukee and Flex Boy on panel. No. He's more of a fanboy for Flex than I am a fanboy for any tool.
Dude, their tools are so good, man. I wish they weren't so stupid with their marketing.
Here, I'll show you guys the shirt. Look, it's very religious. Like it?
Nice.
A flaming
I didn't know that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The Bosch Bulldog is the best rotary hammer that people typically buy.
What's that, BWs?
Thanks, Southpaw. I would love to be a member of Harlem Heat. B-Dub, Russell, the black hat that SoAlz has. Yeah, I saw him today. The black just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I actually got a DeWalt hat and shirt that I've been meaning to wear because I know it'll just upset people. But
And Charles got the Flex 5-inch portaband for $74. That's freaking crazy.
whew, that is awesome, man.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I
he
bet
would make it.
that Flex portaband is
I-
good. It's got to be good. I tell you what, I had the, what is it, 5-inch cut for Milwaukee. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
it's huge, right? And I was running 4-inch.
Is that what the
And-
one they call
and-
the deep throat?
Yeah. It's the deep throat. And I'm on a scissor lift, and I'm running 4-inch EMT. The couplings are like this big and that long. And
Yeah.
you got to make your couplings line up, right? You can't be a savage and just do whatever. So you have to cut your pipe, even if you don't even need to cut it. You just got to line them up. Sometimes one band took up this much more than what you planned on, and you can
Right.
cheat so much, but you got to really get them all lined up. So I don't want to come
Right.
off the lift unless I really
Yeah.
need to. So I'm up there just and dude, it just sails through everything, man. You could cut down street poles and just be a menace in cities. And like you could cut down every light pole on a block in like, I don't know, 5 minutes, dude. That thing's a monster.
Wait, Daniel Bean just said something that I think is hilarious. He said, "I heard another channel say Rigid may not have a future."
Interesting. He must be
the
watching the
den of
Bears.
Let me
Yeah.
just say, it's the den of fools. That dude, every single year, that jackass comes out with a video saying that Rigid is on death's doorstep. My pronouns are USA. All right, Aki. I love it. No, Big Red, I did not see your comment, but go ahead.
What's
Zach,
the
again.
comment?
I don't know. Anyway, that dude knows less about tools than my
Look at
wife.
rallies.
Honest to God, he knows less about tools than my wife. He's never used a fucking tool on a job site a day in his life, and I don't give a shit what he says. I watched him use a miter saw. I watched him use an angle grinder. And I immediately knew that this sumbitch had no reason touching a goddamn tool. First of all, you never cross your arms like this in front of the saw blade.
How can you don't hold the wood with your left and chop with your right? Are you sure?
Dude, so he put the blade up, right? Now I get it. It's got a guard, whatever. It's not what you do. And
Right.
if you see somebody on a job site doing it, you fire them immediately.
That's that
Right.
muscle memory you need to be instilling.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you just move with your left, right? No, he's crossing them as he's bringing the wood in
Oh
front.
man.
And then on the angle grinder, right? A smart man, if you use an angle grinder, when you let the trigger go, you either hold it in your hand until it stops spinning, or you place it with your hand on top, on the back side of it, so that the blade is up. Not what he did. He set it down, blade down, and didn't wait for it to stop. Now, he didn't lose control of it, but he will. Like, it's just an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
The man has no fucking reason grabbing a fucking tool on his goddamn channel. What he ought to do is talk about the news. Maybe tell us what's going on in Yellowstone National Park. Maybe he can tell us about his fake moonshine traveling the world for 30 years. Whatever. But don't touch a fucking tool. You're not even qualified to comment on other tools, like real tool channels, about a tool. That's my rant for the day. I'm just saying, like, the first thing that you learn, den of fools, the first thing that you learn about tools, the first thing that they teach you is safety. Because if they've got to run your ass from the job site to the hospital, that means they're not going to be productive.
Yeah.
That's why you have a safety man on job, walking around, just making sure you're not being an idiot.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I fired people for using the wrong shit. Grab me another picnic basket, Snoop Doggy. Yeah, Snoopy Dog. Yeah. God bless in Jesus' name. Thank you, Todd. He's a yo-yo. Welcome the dog. The next video upload. Thanks. Yeah. Oh man. Like even in shop class, and Darren just said it. Like even in shop class, the basics of safety is where you learn that stuff. Change.
Harper's right there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, but the basic idea of safety is
Don't make this ranter short.
What's that?
Don't make this ranter short.
Oh no. But the basic idea of tool safety is something that they teach us at a young age. We used to learn it in wood shop or in auto class and like junior high and in high school. The first thing, like before you could even touch the tool, they made you learn about the tool and how to handle it safely and correctly. And
yeah,
having watched that fat fuck use a tool, and I'm fat, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fat fucker. But having watched him use a tool, he wouldn't make it 10 minutes before he got his ass fired.
Yeah.
I suppose an experienced tech, but didn't know what a hammer do. Oh, Jesus. 7th grade wooden metal shop. Yeah. The first place I ever used a router was in wood shop. And we had like 30 minutes, half of the class, just learning about how dangerous that tool is. And it was like instilled on us. You guys remember the wood shop teacher? He didn't have all 5 fingers or all 10 fingers. He always had some missing. And he'd tell you, like, I wasn't paying attention at the bandsaw one day. I looked down and there were 2 of my fingers sitting on the wood. How do y'all feel about people who drop start chainsaws? Not something I would do.
No.
But a seasoned professional, if that's what, like, they've got a hand on it. I get where they're coming from. They got a hand on it at all times. They're just dropping the string. Personally, right. I don't think it's great for the pulley to do that. But that's the only concern that I have about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Only way to start them.
All right. Give you a jolt. I remember we had one kid that cut into his hand using the table saw. And I cannot tell you how that scarred me for life. Like, just how quick it was. And it wasn't kickback either. He was just being a dumbass and not using a push stick. They didn't. Here's the thing that I've watched more woodworking channels do something wrong over the last years, and I don't know where they get it, but they don't use feather boards. Very often. Some of them do. Some of them are great, but I watch a lot of them. They're not using a feather board, and if you don't use a feather board, you're just inviting kickback and injury. Now you can't use it for everything.
especially cutting rough sawn lumber, whatever it is. If you go to Home Depot, you pick up just anything on the rack. Pretty much is going to have 4 sides straight. You get something from a mill or something, you got to have a feather board.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. Look, a lot of time, how many times you've been cutting a board and you didn't notice that it, or you didn't know because it looked straight, but you didn't know it had a twist in it, right? And
I
then as you're cutting, it releases some of that tension.
I've never let it catch me.
Okay.
I've never been surprised on a table saw except for once, and I was doing something very sketchy, and I pulled out my old table saw from the attic just so I could do a sketchy cut because I didn't want to mess up my rigid. And I was cutting a 16-foot 2x8
Damn.
at a 33-degree angle for a rain slope because I had a really flat surface above my garage door, and the rain would hit that side of the house. And then, I mean, it was like, 30 foot by like 10 foot of water coming down into the on the garage door, and sometimes it would leak underneath the garage door. So I built like this kind of angled, awning kind of thing to get the
Yep.
rain to shoot forward. And I think I pulled out my old Delta, and I'm pushing hard, too hard for a table saw. Okay, almost bogging
Yeah.
this thing
Yep.
down. And I'm 16 feet away, by the way, as you're pushing. And I got to the very last bit of that cut. Well, first off, the blade is at an angle, so you're not thinking.
Uh-huh.
And I get to the very end of the cut. I did not have a push stick with me handy.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, I'm going to grab something. Luckily, thank God, there was a cutoff of oak that was a little 3-foot piece of wood. Okay. And I finished the cut with that piece of oak. Well, the saw blade is at a curve, so you can't see it until you're almost done the cut. You know what I'm saying? And dude, I don't know what happened, man. My hand made contact, not my hand. The wood that I was pushing with made contact with that blade unexpectedly. And it ripped
Right.
it out of my hand. It hit the back of that garage door. I had a commercial garage door that was like 16 gauge steel. I mean, the springs for my garage door were like that. Okay.
Right.
It was a very heavy door. It dented that door.
They're talking about straight things that are not finding straight things, and I'm thinking they're talking about Makita guys, and then every once in a while they say wood. Anyway, but Makita guys look at wood, and just a different kind. Hey, no, I'll tell you my horror story. First of all, my favorite power tool ever is a radial arm saw. Like, I love using it. It is an absolute joy to use. Thanks, Daniel. It's an absolute joy to use. My biggest near accident came from using it. So I had a metal cutting blade on it, and I had to cut some all thread.
Oh,
So no big, like I've done it before. It's not a big deal. I know I put a piece of wood in front of it just to secure it or whatever. Well, when I was cutting it, it as it cut through the all thread, it caught one of the teeth just right.
mm-hmm.
And it shot a maybe 2-foot piece of all thread across the room, and it stuck in the wall.
Oh man.
Like stuck. And if you've never used a radial arm saw, those things are amazing. Like, they're powerful though. But it probably it dented the outside of the wall. It was like a storage building, and I was just using it over there to make a table. But it's stuck in the wall. And I'm just looking at it like, if that had hit me, there is no me anymore.
Yeah, through and through.
Right? You'd just be like, can you explain that to the doctor? Like, oh, yeah, by the way, it just went like through me. My bad.
Yeah.
Radial arm saw should make you nervous. Every power tool, like anything that has a spinny blade or a spinny router bit, should make you nervous to use. That's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I have since, if I am cutting all thread, I make a little box, a wooden box for my radial arm saw, and I will through the box.
Yeah. I was going to say what I usually do, because I do a lot of tile work. I've done a lot of really nice showers professionally for myself and for my dad's construction company.
How?
And we always put that aluminum edging that goes on the side of the tile,
Yeah.
And that stuff, I mean, let's be honest, dude, it's metal, so you should be using something else. But what my dad did, so that's what I did. I mean, it's what all pros do. You don't change out the blade for one cut. It's got carbide teeth for a reason. Take it to your chop saw and you cut the 45, whatever you're doing, whatever angle you're trying to make, especially in the niches and all that stuff. So that stuff has a triangle hole,
Yep.
and then it has a piece about this thick, and it has another triangle. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but the holes, the perforates are triangles. So it gives your blade really good places to catch. And what I learned a long time ago is just put a piece of 1x4 over whatever you're cutting, because you're already going to have some kind of board where you're stacking your tile on anyway, because tile doesn't just stick to the wall. You got to have certain boards to start on to keep everything level, 360 around the shower and all that. So you already have 1x4s handy or 1x3s. Just throw that 1x3 over that aluminum and then start cutting on the wood first and then cut into your metal.
Yeah, it's the thing is, like, the tools that pros use, we end up taking for granted, right? And I'm not talking about a drill or an impact driver. I used a bit, like developed a bit that would cut through both concrete and steel, because I needed to go through 12 feet of concrete and 18 inches of steel. And I had to do it one shot. So developed a diamond cutting, multifaceted drill head that I could attach to a well driller. And because I'm doing military, I'm just going to leave it at that. Doing military things, I had to go into their building, and that was the only way I could go in. So you go through that way, like explaining that to the common man, right? They understand it. They don't understand the power. They don't understand the depths that you have to go to. And somebody say, buy safety glasses and buy. Yeah, he doesn't have to. His glasses are thick enough. But anyway,
These are thicker than any safety glasses you're going to find on the shelf.
yeah, but like having the deck cleared before you can even start. But you have to have it angled at a certain, like, because of the way you're going in, it's kind of like fracking into a building, but not really. But the way you have to have it angled, everything is just precise, but you can't have anyone near where it is. So you can't even see how well it's going. You have to feel, literally, you're grabbing the lever on the well drill or the truck, right? And you're feeling the vibrations to tell how your progress is going.
Right.
Dudes that haven't been out there, they don't understand, like, these are the things that a pro goes through their head, and they just take it second nature, man.
Right.
Like, once you get used to it, you're just like, you'll have a conversation because you're just feeling it.
Yeah, it's probably like directional boring.
Yeah. Yes, it's because it was so big, right? You can't just use anything. You have to have something that can go into granite, basically, like strong enough to go into granite, bedrock. So it's definitely something. And now imagine having to then on that create a system that you can, when you get down to the steel, you can pump oil down
No,
into the steel,
no.
right? So I need to know what you're doing. Yeah. Industrial diamonds, of course. What happened to your face, SoAlz? Antonio, I got bit by a brown recluse spider. Is it cool enough looking? Yeah.
It almost looks like you're like a prison kind of vibe going on. You should
Thanks, buddy. This is my teardrop. I killed a spider.
go to Spire.
Yeah, you want to know what's funny? Renegade's Garage is here, and he's been here for a minute. And I meant to say hi to him when he came in, and we were talking. Best brand for blowers, Ego. I'd personally choose your mom. Brady, that's funny. That's exactly what I would say. I would choose your mom too. Ego, probably. I worked. So I know a little more about boring and all right, Alvaro. That's cool, man.
What's up, Bryn?
But you know what? We've been doing this for an hour 45. I only planned on doing this for about half hour because I haven't been feeling well.
Yeah.
Oil rigs use the same kind. Yeah. Yeah. But theirs are not like they don't use the same kind because I only had to do a 3-inch hole.
Yeah.
But we're out of here, guys. This has been great. We appreciate all of you guys showing up. We were able to maintain over 100 people the entire time.
Very nice.
How did I? No, I am not. I cannot, because that is not mine to give anymore. I cannot make an episode on how I developed the drill head. Sorry, but it was complicated. And if you know how gear works, that's the way to do it.
Well, don't forget to do your Kegel exercises for your rear end if you're a Makita guy.
And for all you Makita guys out there, don't forget, blow them like you know them. And for the rest of you, manscape like you landscape. If you trim your bush, your deck will look big. We're out of here.
See you guys.